Yeah, welcome back to Career Build Series episode number 77. And so what we're working on in this episode is this is going to be an overloader trailer. And so this is based off some agricultural equipment. I've tried a bunch of different stuff, scissor lifts, and this seems like it's going to work the best. And so what we have here is it's essentially a trailer. It's going to have a permanent tractor on it. And so these are quite common in agricultural use. And so what you do is you'll dump the commodity in here. In this case, it's going to be coal. Could be used for other minerals as well. And you have an auger. And so the way it works IRL is the shape of the trailer, just via gravity, the good will fall and, of course, settle towards the bottom. There'll be an auger that goes towards the rear, and then it will spill into here, and there'll be an auger up in here, and it will spill out. Now, of course, we don't have any of that, so what I have here is just some ducting and a funnel that will spit into a hopper, and then we can dump out the funnel. So a little bit more simplified than the real one, of course. And so putting a permanent tractor on here, and so what I want to do is currently I just threw some electrical stuff on here, make sure it's going to work, and it does. And next thing I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to put a motor in here, or an engine rather. So I'm going to put a diesel in here, and we'll power this via diesel. All right, so we have a little bit of space here. Should be good. So I'll probably put it off to the side here. So it'll be a modular engine, which is good. Pretty much all I use at this point. I don't touch the... can't remember the last time I've used one of the other ones. All right, so I'm probably going to do direct to the back here like so. All right. And so, the engine's going to be large, and the reason why is, the larger the engine you have, the lower the RPS you can run, which saves you a bunch of things like cooling and fuel use and all that. And it's a lot quieter as well. People will complain about their engines screaming at them like lawnmowers. Well, one of the ways you can prevent that is to reduce the or increase the cylinder count, and so you can reduce the RPS required to obtain the same power. Force equals mass times acceleration. So there's two ways you can essentially get more force out of it. One is mass, which essentially is adding more cylinders, or the other one is acceleration, which is the speed. So by increasing the speed, RPS, you can get more power, or you can increase the size of the engine, which is essentially the mass. And so that's why it works. And so often I will make very large engines because I'd rather not have them screaming at me. And it's always better, I think, to, have what's known as a detuned engine. So what that means is essentially you have an engine that is producing more power than you need, and then you ask less of it. Often, if you think about it, an engine essentially has a limited number of revolutions it can make before it will break down. And so the fewer revolutions, the longer time you're going to have before the engine wants to break down. And so you can improve engine life by having a larger engine and having it less stressed. All right, so that looks good so far. So what do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we have a 16 cylinder, so that should be fine. And then I'm probably only going to need, I would say, 3 or 4 gearboxes here. This doesn't need to go super fast. This needs to be down geared. So most of them are going to face away from the engine. And I'll probably put one facing toward. Let me see if that's how I want to do them. I probably want to go up a little bit higher. I don't know. Let's see. Let's do this. Let's cut you there. Let's go like so. So either 3 or 4. If I have space for 4, I may just do 4 just because I can... yeah, I think I'll do 4. So we want to go away from the engine, away from the engine, away from the engine, toward the engine. And then... let's see where we are at here. Go like that. And then this is easy to put in the front axle. And then we can just snake in the rear axle. Pretty simple. And it's generally good to have front and rear axles. I almost always do all-wheel drive. Just works a lot better in game. So kind of have to work with the game mechanics, how they are, if we want it to work well. So tends to be the way. All right, good. So that's in. All right, and so let's see, how do I want to do fuel tank? I'm probably just going to stick a stock in there. Don't need a ton of fuel in here because it's really not. It's probably going to be pretty fuel efficient. It's going to be off a lot of the time. It's just going to be on off because it's going to fire up, go do what it has to do, and then it's going to shut back down. So there's a filler. And then we can put the fuel manifold on the other side. Like so. All right, that's good. And then I'm going to want to get right here probably, I want to put in an impeller for the supercharger. I pretty much supercharge everything now. Watch one of my tutorials on that, but that tends to be my method on everything now. That should be, oh, that's in. Ugh, that's not what I want. Let's see. So this needs to just move forward one. And like that. There we go. All right, and so that will be air in, and this will be here. That will go fluid out, which is going to be the air going into our cylinders. So air manifold will go in like so. Merge that. So let's see. I'm probably going to go up here like so. All right. Just trying to kind of look it up and figure this out. It's a little bit challenging. Right, so that's just going to be your air in. Of course, I could do it underneath, but I kind of want to make it visible so you can see it. I think that's more fun. Now put a... This will, kind of simulate an air filter on there. You're putting it down in a mine, so it... you'd want an air cleaner on there. There we go. So that has the air cleaner on there. All right, so that, and then exhaust. I'm not gonna, it doesn't need a frilly, interesting exhaust. It really does not. So let's go. Just exhaust underneath here. Like so. Could do an exhaust on there, but I don't think I'm going to, so I'm just going to put it underneath. Probably, we'll just do one cat. It's a little smoky. It's not the end of the world. All right, so it has its exhaust in there, and I just need manifolds to kind of tie up the cylinders. Let's go do that. So this will tie all the cylinder banks together. So that's top and side, side and bottom. And I just need one on this side, and we should be good. All right, it's good. So that's set, and I should be able to hopefully, let's go ahead and save this really quick. So scissor lift just wasn't working well for me. Just too much game nonsense to try to get a scissor lift to work right. So let's see, I want to then import in my car stuff. It's actually really not all that hard to convert this to then be a truck. Just changing the gear ratios is all I'm really doing. So certain things I don't really even need lights. All right, so that fills up some of the dash as well, which is convenient. All right, so that's in. A bunch of the dash didn't make it in, which is fine. So it has those, and then I think how I want to do this. I'll look at putting in the rest of the dash. It doesn't really need too much of that stuff. Go ahead and put on lights. All right, cut that. I'm actually gonna move these out one. All right, so that's in. And then tail lights. Just line these up so I don't have to grab them both at the same time. But this vehicle is wider than a standard road vehicle, so. We'll go right there. Not going on the road, so it doesn't need lights, but a nice little touch and nice little detail. It makes it a little less boring. All off-road, in the mine type of vehicles. So. Like making these industrial builds too, because you don't have to worry too much about really hiding a lot of stuff. It's kind of, making things pretty, because it is not going to be pretty. So even though the center of gravity is behind us, because of course we have all that, we're carrying all that mass, what I care about really is the center of gravity of the power unit for actually, this is the wheel controller. So it's going to stick out a little bit, but I don't really mind it. So. All right, so transmission is going to slot the transmission in. What are those? Okay, that's backwards anyway, so I'll just reconfigure it. I have to re-gear it anyway, so let's get rid of it. All right, what do we have here? This is speed converter, tack, the basics, the lights, the steering. Okay, let's hook up steering while we're here. So this will be port, I think. I flipped the tire. Now I don't need to flip the tire. They put a negative value on this. Where is it? There we go. Okay, I did. So sometimes I need the space so I don't flip the tire, and then other times I do flip the tire because I have the space. If I don't have the space, I'll flip the tire so I don't have to invert it, and then if I do have the space, vice versa. Steering. Okay, then it's going to go to the seat. All right, so nice. This just makes it a lot easier to get something up and running. So how do I set this up? I could probably, if I start with the door open, I could probably stick some of that stuff on the pedestal. I think how I want to do this. Let's put an eyebrow on this. So we'll go like this. All right, let's see, pyramid. I'll put a little bit of an eyebrow on there. We'll see if I hate it or not. In an application like this, you'd want protection so that the stuff doesn't fall and break. It looks better, I think, like that, but it also offers protection so that something were to fall. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just counting out if I want to change that to something else. But okay, so that looks good. And so what this will allow me, nope, it won't. Okay. I just kind of screwed it up. So let's cut this out again. And then what I want to do is make a different eyebrow, because the whole point of this was to get in space to put some controls above me. And I completely forgot why I was doing it. So hopefully not do too many more build videos. I enjoy the build videos, but I'm also trying to just get stuff done. I actually want to go do some of this mining, but the build videos are kind of necessary. I get to the point where I can't, or that's annoying right there. All right, what the hell? Just hurting on space in here for... So let's get rid of this. Do I really care about my speedo tack, all that stuff? Not really all that much. I'm trying to see what I need in here. So this should be headlights, high beams, park brake, and hazards. So those are kind of important. The key, tack RPM, and then this is just gauges. Okay, let me see what I want to do here to make this work for me. Be all right if I didn't put this air cleaner right there, but I did, so let's see. I start screwing up my ceiling if I put those in there. I kind of like the eyebrow anyways. Let's finish this. I can't put any of those up there anyway. Huh. It's kind of annoying. All right, let's see what I can do here. I'll work on that in a second. Battery needs to go in. So, again, I don't use too much in the way of batteries and everything. I don't really need to. Usually one battery is all I need. One small battery is all you need if you recharge your system properly. Linear speed, probably here. So what I might do is I'll see if I can slide the seat back. Let's do that really quick here, and I'll hide that in a second. All right, so seat can slide back. I can work with the dash a little bit. The problem is I don't know how my wheel is going to interact with me here, because that could very well hit the wheel. Hit the tire, rather. Okay, that will slide back. That's fine. Nope, I don't want to do that. All right, I'll figure it out in a second here. I just want to get it up and running. So, put this linear speed somewhere. And I need to back up all that. Where I deleted all this crap out. Okay. So this can go in here somewhere. That's just linear speed. I may or may not make it so you can even open the hood, so I'm not worried too much about what it looks like down here. Trying to get it, in and play with it. All right, so I'm trying to think if I put those there. Because I don't have much to do here. I'll end up working on the gear, and then I'll figure out if I want to screw around with the way this looks anymore. Okay. That's all that. Okay, let's go ahead and color swap that out. And then I'm going to do a little paint here. I need a distraction from trying to figure out what I'm doing with that. And then I'll come to a conclusion in a little bit. How did this not color swap that pink? No, I did white. That's why. Okay. All right, there we go. Let's see how that looks. Looks pretty bland back here, but this can be sculpted later. I just want to get it up and running and hopefully get it to where it can go in the mine in a reasonable amount of time. All right, so digging on the look of that, let's start bucketing some of the stuff. And hopefully it won't color stuff I don't want it to color. All right. All right, so that looks pretty good right now. All right, so let's hide some micros and then I can start working on gearing. So this is lights. Again, this is for cars, so it has very complex lights that really you don't need on something like this to be that complex, but they're in there, they add some details, so I'm just going to leave them, not going to bother trying to rip them out. Okay, that'll go there, and then this. Plenty of space in here to just stick stuff too, so. Probably should go there fine, yep. Alrighty, so that's there. Steering needs to go in. Alright, stick these on the other side right by here. Alright, nice. So that is all in. Still need to figure out that dash stuff, but let's start working on the gearing. So this is going to operate more like a truck, and so it doesn't need to be very fast. And so what we want is we want low gear ratios. We're talking probably like a 15 to 1 to start with, something like that. So more of a, on the truck scheme of gear ratios. Yeah. Yep. That's good. Okay, good. All right, so let's save this really quick while it's colored, and then I'll bring up the all right. And so bring up the gearing chart. Right, so here's the gearing chart, and so this is the rescue cart, the latest one I worked on. So 4-speed's probably going to be fine for this. I don't need a lot of gearing again. One of the reasons you have lots of gears is so you can get up to speed, and I don't need that. So this is going to be the mining overloader. Okay, mining overloader. And then all right, so we're going to go through and so right here I'm going to kind of decide what I want. So try 15 to 1. Let's try like, I don't know, 13 to 1, 12 to 1, maybe like a 4 to 1, something like that. That's probably too low, so probably maybe a 10, 6. maybe a 12 even. So let's kind of work with that as our start. So we're just going to go right to low numbers. So 3 to 1. All right. So that's right there. I have a 375. So let's try another 3 to 1. There we go. There's a 7.5. Third gear is going to be our reverser, but it's going to be facing. This is going to be our dropping gear. So it's going to increase to give us a higher gear. So it's going to give us higher gears. And then fourth will be. Right side. This might be our overall, actually. So let's go 3 to 1 there. So there's a 22. Let's do a 2. There's a 1501. So that's pretty good there. And then this one here, let's see, 2 to 1. That's a 5 to 1. Let's actually just make that a 9 to 1. All right, so now we have because I haven't taken this out yet. All right, so this is going to be our backwards facing gear. So let's make this a 1 to 1 to start with. And if I need to change or reduce that, I will. All right, so we have an 18 to 1. That's very low. And then here we have a 9 to 1. So that's half. So probably it's excessively low, maybe. So make this 3 1 5 2 maybe. So try 5 2. And then so that's a 15 to 1. And so there's an 18 to 15. 5 2 5 2. So we're going as low as we can on those. So that's a 375, a 2 1. And then this one here is going to be 3 1 1 1. So that's a 2 5. That's probably way too low. Let's see. And then let's say maybe a 2 1 here, 2 1. So that's a 5 1 5 1. That's fine. Okay, so this was 2 2 1 1. So this one can. So if I need to drop these down, I just have to change this one ratio here. And then let's see, it's a 5 to 1. And then this one here, I want to do the drop. So gear 4, we're not doing gear 5, but gear 4 is going to be facing the opposite direction. So that will allow me to reduce this. So let's go 3 1 on that. Okay, 1 3 rather. 1 3 on that. We'll reduce that to 1.66. And then let's see. 1.66, and then let's try a 2 there. So that's a 3 to 1 ratio. And then do I want to drop these by any? Probably not. Maybe this one. I don't know. It's a 6 to 1. If I were to drop that, it'd be a 5 to 1. So that's a 6 5 3 1. That may be okay, but it's probably going faster than I need. So this here really increases the ratio. So what I can do is something smaller. So see, this is a good span. You have a 6, a 5, a 3, and a 1.5. That's a good range. Now what we do is with this one gearbox facing the other direction, we can start decreasing this and bringing it closer to 1 to 1, and that will raise up all these to make it lower. So for example, next one's a 5 2. So if we did 5 2, we go from a 6 to a 7 2. So if we changed all those to 5 2s, you can see that raises all those up. So now it's a 7, a 6, a 4, a 2. And so that makes that pretty easy to do. So that's actually looking probably about more where I want. So if we were, yeah, so I think that's probably about, let's try that. So if we do an off of that, that's 18 to 1. So I probably don't want it off. So maybe like a 2 3. It's a 12 to 1, a 6. Let's try a 2 3 here. 10 to 1, 12, 10, 4, 2. And then what we probably want to do is bring this down again. So maybe we'll go 1 2. 1 2. So that's a 12, 10, 5, 2, 5. Let's try this ratio. That looks pretty good for a mining vehicle. All right, so now that that is kind of figured out, let's start plugging them in and see how they work. So I'm just looking at the chart, and as I go through here, what I want to do is find the gearboxes. So we're going to go from the engine one. So I have two options there. It's a 3-1 or a 5-2. So what I want to do is I want to figure out which is the most frequent number. So I only have it as a 3-1 once, and it's 5-2 3 times. So that will tell me to do a 5-2, and then 3-1 is the second choice because that way I don't have to turn it on as much. Gear 2 is going to be a 3-1 2-1, and it is even split. So it can go either way. So 3-1 2-1. So it's 3-1 twice and it's 2-1 twice. Then it comes around here and we have gear 3, which is going to be okay, this is going to be causing me a problem because I need a reverse. Let's try something here. I'm just kind of looking at my ratios and okay, let's do this, and then what's my other option on that one? 3-2, and then a just going back in and kind of fixing these a little bit. 3-2, was it 9 5s after 3-2, I think? Yeah. Okay, so 2-1 maybe. Okay, so I have it. I redid it because one of the gear ratios needs to have a reverse, and I usually do third gear as a reverse, so that's this one. So the standard gear on the third is going to be a 2-1. Let's see, did I screw it up? Nope, that's right. Okay, 2-1. Okay, so I got this fixed. So this is going to be a 2-1 is the standard on there, and then it's going to be 1 -1. And then this last gear one, this one actually increases the gear ratios. So with this one box, I can completely change all of them. And so it has 2-3 3 times. So that's going to be there. And then it has a 2-1 the other time. All right, so that's telling me how frequent it is. So let's go into the box that controls the transmission here. All right, so I want to go through the transmissions here, and what I'm doing is using the chart, and like I was saying, so 5-2 is the default gear on gearbox 1 because it comes up 3 times. And so it needs to go to 3-1 once, and that's only in first gear. So first gear, so what I'll do is I'll actually detach all these just so that I don't accidentally hook things up. So this is set for whatever the last car was on this. So first gear here is going to trigger gearbox 1. That's the only time that gets triggered. All right. Second gear so the second gearbox, it is an even split. So I think I did 3-1 first and then 2-1. So it needs to be 2-1 for 3 and 4. So for 3 and 4, gearbox 2 are triggered. For 3 is my reverser. So only when it's -1 will I get gearbox 3. And then gearbox 4 is going to be 2-3 every time except when I go into fourth gear. Fourth gear, it's going to trigger gearbox 4 to go to a 1-2. So that is it. That's the automatic transmission setup. Okay. I really want to get this dash in. Trying to think how to make this dash work for me. How to make this dash work for me here. Let's do this. Cut you. Put that there. All right. So that is now sticking out. All right. And so let's see. And what I'll do here is cut those like so. Cut you. This will go up into the ceiling here. And then this key will go, if I can ever find it. There we go. Where you at there, guy? Key will go up into the ceiling. All right, one more down. Oh, come on. Just give me what I want to click on, you ding dong. There we go. Oh my God, it's so annoying. There we go. All right. All right, so that's that, and then I should be able to put this in, and then this can go in the center of those two. So that solves the problem of just moving that window. I did want to put grading in front of the window, but it's not the end of the world. You know, I want this to be kind of, you know, I've driven a bunch of construction equipment, and it's generally very tight in there, and so I kind of like that feeling of having it being snug in there and a little bit uncomfortably so. Okay. So let's go there. And we'll put these up vertical, I think. Oh my God, I can't see now. All right, that's correct. Just need to go up like that. All right, there we go. So that will go like that. All right, so that is in now. Good, 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 good. All right, let's check electricity. Most of it should be connected. So alternators are going to go to the bat side of the master power here. That's not the right thing. What am I doing? Okay, so which battery side? Battery side is here. So that goes to battery side. What is that? That is lights. So battery and lights, that's fine. Lights go out. So that's all my lights are hooked to the hot bus, which makes sense because, but I'll do it like this would be better. And that's going to be battery and lights to the hot bus. Make sure the lights are all connected back there. They are. Okay, good. And then I want key. The key always needs to be powered. So the key is always powered from the battery. And then these will be all connected. These will go to the on bus. Starter goes to the on bus. All of these can go right to the starter. Now, what do you buzzer? Buzzer will go to the, that's fine there. Those don't need to be powered. This does need to be powered, and I need to figure a way to control this at some point. So it just needs a controller for the overloader. All right, let's give it a run, see how we do here. All right. I can't see any of that. It's interesting. Okay. And I probably didn't hook anything up. Let's see. So the engine, none of the engine got hooked up. I tend to do that. Fuel. Air manifold is right there. Starter, okay. So this is gearbox 2, so go sequentially, so that's 2. Gearbox 1. Gearbox 4. And where are you at? Gearbox 3? Where's gearbox 3? Gearbox 1, 2, gear 3. What are you doing back there? What is that? Oh, okay, lights, gear 3. That's already hooked up because that is my, that turns on my reverse lights. So variable brakes, brake, 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 and then seeing these are connected, this can also do variable brakes off that because it's a permanently attached tractor, so it doesn't need a light cord to move that stuff. Alternators go there. Cooling I'll put in at some point, but this probably is going to need very little cooling. Coolant pump I'll do later. Fuel manifold, I think that's it. Okay, good. Let's go engine composite and hopefully get a crank off this. I really don't like my overhead stuff, but I'll have to fix it. I might XML in a roof. That doesn't sound right. That really doesn't sound right. Okay. I didn't hook up the RPS, so it's running away because the PID's telling it to do something, to do a certain RPS, and it's not reading the RPS to it, so it doesn't know what to do. All right, that's good. Clutch was connected, right? Cooling pump. I think clutch is connected. Clutch is connected. Okay, let's configure the seat. I should be configured, seeing I have the same seat. Shift gears. Okay. Let's give it a try. Parking brakes off. Gear 1. All right, so this first gear is if I'm reading it correctly, 12 to 1. So that's about pretty good for what you have. So you see we're doing 9 miles an hour, and tach's not connected. Oh, of course it is. There is my second gear. So we're doing 1 extra mile an hour. We're down to a 10 to 1. There is 15 miles an hour. And then here is fourth gear, 20 miles an hour. That's how you want a vehicle like this to operate. You don't need demon speed. You need stability. You need it to be able to start by hauling that heavy load. So the 12 to 1 gear ratio, I wouldn't actually even mind knocking it down. Let's do this as a exercise. So my gear ratios are currently a 12 to 1, a 10 to 1, a 6.6, and a 5 to 1. Let me bring up the chart. All right, so as you can see, 12 1, 10 1, 6.6 to 1, 5 to 1. So there's one gearbox that's facing the opposite direction, and that is gearbox 4. Because it's facing the opposite direction, what it's doing is so all of my gearboxes 1 through 3, 1, 2, and 3, they all face away from the engine. That is lowering the gears. That is causing me to trade RPS for torque. It's giving me more torque. A truck, a heavy vehicle needs a lot of torque to get that mass moving. All right. And so there's one gearbox facing towards the engine. That increases my gear. That makes my gear go higher, and that's trading torque for RPS. So what I'm doing with gearbox 4 is it allows me to drop or raise all of these ratios with this one box. So this is my adjustment box. I have the ranges correct. 12, 10, 6, 5. So I have 2 that are low, really low, and then these go a little bit higher. And so that's good for a truck. They're close enough that I don't stall it or I don't jump. And so the range, the differential between the gears is correct. Now all I have to do is with this gearbox 4, 5 I don't have plugged in. I don't need it. That's why they're 1-to-1s. I have this set up so I could go to 5 gearbox. When I do an 18 speed, I need that many gears to do it. And so I actually need more, but so right here, as you can see, it's a 2-3 and a 1-2. The higher I go on this, the closer to 3 to 1, the lower these are going to go. Now I want to raise these. I want to go higher than a 12, higher than a 10. So I want to go, I want to go to a larger number, which is a lower gear ratio. The higher this number, the more torque. The lower this number, the less torque, the more RPS. All right. So what I can do here is as I go away from 3 to 1, I'm lowering the gears. As I go closer to 3 to 1, I'm making them more of a high gear. And so what I want to do here is drop these down some more. So I want to go a 2-3. So as you can see, that makes that gear now a lower gear, a higher number, more torque. All right, and now I want to go 1 lower than 2-3. So I need to actually look at it and figure out what it is. All right, so I made this a 2-3, so I can go to a 6-5 on this or a 1-to-1. So let's go 6-5. So it'll be 5-6 because it's facing the other way. So now you see this went from a 5 to a 6.6. This went to an 8.3. Now if I make these 5-6s, you'll notice I've just made a bigger number, giving me more torque. It's going to drop my speed because the RPS is going down to the wheel. But what it's doing is it's giving me more torque so I can handle heavier loads. I can go up hills better. I can haul a full heavy load of coal. So that's why I want to do that. So with that 1 gear ratio set, I can change all of these out. And so that's why I do it like that. And so all I have to do is change the numbers in the gearbox and it will work. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead here. I already plugged them in, so I made it 3265, and so that should work. So let's go ahead and we'll spawn it. And we'll see how it drives. All right. All right, so now we should be going slower. I think we did 9 in first gear. We should be going slower now. All right, so as you can see, we can get up around 7.5 miles an hour. So we've traded that speed, that RPS, to be able to haul more mass, and so this will help us, you know, haul that mass. I actually probably want to drop this down even more. So I clicked it in a second. Now we're up at 8 miles an hour. Third is 12. Fourth is going to be 15. So that's actually not too bad. I can work with that. But as you can see, that's giving me a good range on this vehicle. This vehicle is not supposed to be fast. This vehicle is supposed to be going in and out of the mine, and its primary purpose is just to, you know, fill up from the machinery that we have there and then empty. And it also gives me precision. You know, a lot of people are in a rush to do everything. If I drop it down, so let's go in reverse. Make sure, I'm just making sure reverse works. Reverse works. So those lights actually wouldn't be on the trailer. You don't generally put reverse lights on the trailer. So reverse is working, but you know, if we're in first, this allows me to go, I'm full throttle right now, and this allows me to go underneath the spout without ramming under there and hitting it. Especially when you're doing a combination unit, a tractor trailer like this. If you want to back up reliably, you don't want to be doing it too fast. Like in my 18 speeds now, I have 4 reverse speeds. You know, pretty much if I want real precision to do backing up maneuver, I want to use reverse 1. So you see I just did a nice jackknife reverse there. We'll hit the brakes. We'll go forward, and I can easily maneuver. If it goes too fast, it's going to be jumping on you, and it's going to be an absolute nightmare. All right, good. So let's go ahead and grab this back in. Ugh, camera. I'm telling you, the flicky camera is quite frustrating. So let's see. I want to put this window out here, like I have on this one. Give me a little bit more space in that cockpit. So let's do this. Let's cut that. Let's move this over 1. All right, now what we can do is cut there. And we'll, oh, come on. Don't give me symmetry, dude. Cut there. All right, and we'll go straight, and then we'll do a enclosed like that. And then we'll merge this. All right, now we can take this window here. We can cut this and put this on the outside like so. I don't think it looks too bad. Nope, doesn't look too bad. Looks fine. And then what this is going to allow me to do is put some other, just to move some of this crap that I'm annoyed with. This is going to get changed a little bit here. So this will go like that. Let's change this up a little bit here. I don't want that there at all. That's the problem. Okay. Ah, come on, deleting stuff. I don't want to delete stuff I need. Let's do this instead. Go this way. Up like that. All right, so that's now reconnected there. That's fine. All right, like so. All right, that gives me the space now that I can operate here. All right, good. So these three can go. Cut that. And they'll go like this, and they'll be on a side panel. So I'll be more happy with this. This will be nice. I could also go on that arm, but I'm not going to. All right, so that will go like that. And then I need controller, so that is all slope. That can go there. What's the throttle? Throttle 2? I actually kind of want it on the top here. Let's try, see, it's only 2. Go like that. Okay. And I'll show you what I'm doing here in a second here. Ah, crap. That 1x4 wedge is a pain. I need a 1x3. I could 1x3 would be ideal. I'll have to XML something if I want to do it. Let's just leave it like that and then just do camera like that. Let's actually undo all that and put the camera here. So this will be like a dump camera, so this will let me see what my trailer is doing. And I don't want to go any. Don't really all. Doesn't matter. That is so high in the back there. So this would go like this. All right, nice. Not thrilled with that like that. Let's undo that. Cut that. Find the middle block right there. Up. Oh, those are 1x4s. Of course they are. Could put it on the actual. Let's do this. So often these will have cameras on them for the agricultural operations, and it's so that you can, I get all my knowledge from farming, so essentially, but it, so you can see when you're dumping into a trailer and make sure you're over a trailer. So for them, they'll actually dump while they're moving. So it's good to be able to look at the camera and to see if you're over the trailer. Now in this operation, you would be stationary, but that will go to there. And then we want to do seat occupied. We'll turn that camera on, and then this will go like that, and then this here, let's see which direction this is going. So okay, that's correct. That's the way I want it. So it will go to the right so that's right. I just want to make sure the throttle is the correct direction, so it will go the right way. And then so this here will go out to this pivot. All right, let's check this out. All right, so it has a camera on it now for overloading. So I'll have to flip it, but as you can see, wow, that's fast. Okay. Three, and then why is the camera backwards here? Because I put it on there backwards. Okay. All right. Because I put it on backwards. All right. All right, so that has the camera on it. And so now when instead of me having to get out, instead of me having to do third person, I can go like this. And I can make sure that I'm right over that trailer that I'm going to be dumping on. That is having phantom physics. That's having an issue. Yeah, I'm not digging that. Okay. So let's play with this a little bit and get this working right. I really don't want it rotating like that. That's kind of a mess to rotate like that because it's going to be out of the zone where the funnel's probably going to work. So I need it in the center. The issue is I either have to hide it or I have to kind of just like allow it to be seen, which I'm not thrilled with. So it would go. So I could cut out one there and then play with it. I think let's try this here really quick. So let's go cut, 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 cut. All right, and then this needs to be cut. All right, and then I need to put something here. So this will go the center of that to there, and then this will go all the way over here. All right, and then we'll just go delete, delete, and then we'll do pivot, power pivot. Like so. Okay, we'll merge this here to there. All right, and that will now turn that unit in the middle. Hopefully we'll get rid of the phantom forces, which is the main issue that I'm having with that. And okay, so now we need to put in ductwork back in. So is a hopper or a duct? I think that's a hopper, so I want ducts. Doesn't really matter, but I want ducts. So there's going to go duct here. Duct, duct, goose. All right, there we go. And then I want to grab the funnel. Put a funnel here. All right. Let's make sure this is, you need to make sure this is blocked in correctly. So let's go ahead and we'll put in, this will just help make sure that the coal can't accidentally spit out here. Symmetry's not on. Of course it isn't because I need it on. All right, and that will go like that. So that will help funnel it directly ahead here, hopefully. Actually, you know what? I don't want it like that. I want it to be regular blocks here because it already has a gap. All right, and then I want to grab one of these. And so this will go on like, if I can get in there and have it sit properly. All right, so that is now in. Let's check the colors. Okay, that's good. All right, so that should now rotate. Let's go ahead and grab this here again, put it to the new pivot. Electricity for the new pivot will go, that's fine there. Camera needs electricity as well. That will go there. All right, let's give it a look. Make sure we don't get phantom physics. And it's backwards. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? Not a big deal. Instead of moving all that crap around, we'll just do this. And I want a little bit faster, so let's go like a 10. So you can see I'll be able to see right over what I'm overloading onto because the camera's right there. So I can look, make sure I'm over a trailer. So let's go ahead and we'll fire up and we'll test that out. So let's save this. All right. And let me just triple, quadruple check this. So the height of this is 10. Height of this at max is 20. Okay, perfect. All right, so let's go ahead and did I save that? I did. All right, so what I'm hoping with an overloader like this is I should be able to put this out off to the side. Now, IRL, because they're using augers, you can fold them. I can't think of a good way to fold this in game, but it's doing phantom physics. It doesn't like it, but whatever. Hopefully it's not too bad. little bit of phantom physics is okay, but if it gets too bad, it's going to be a pain. So, like, I could drop it that much to keep, if, you know, the ceiling's too high. You know, the width is terrible with like this, but, all right, so let's set the park brake. And then we'll grab, like, one of my standard coal trailers. And so here is the, that's the high tip. I don't want the high tip. That's FD45. So this was from last career build series. This is what I was running coal with last time. This is like a standard, you know, size for road use. All right, and then, all right, let's get in here. And we'll finish up here in a second. I think this is this was a worthwhile endeavor to get this going. So we'll see if this can reach properly. It may not. It's fine. I have some low tips. I made low height trailers last episode that are much shorter. So this may or may not be able to take it. But so this, you see how large this truck is next to this? And we'll actually get us. I don't have a screenshot yet. Thumbnail yet. So let's get a thumbie. All right, and so, you know, you see how tall this truck is, and so the point of an overloader is, you know, for like farming applications, you'd have these out in the field, and for this coal application here, this would be in the mine. And so this looks like it's probably going to be too short. I'm having phantom physics that I'm going to have to deal with. But, you know, you would be able to put this over the side, and I have some trailers. So this is misbehaving. So let's go and grab. So I have some trailers that I designed to be proper size that will go a little bit, that a little bit lower profile. So you'd have that out in the field, and they're chaser bins. So essentially what you'd have is you have your combine. You say your combine can hold, I don't know, 10,000 units. And the chaser bin can hold 40,000 units, and the tractor can hold 100,000 units. And so you, or the, you know, the road rig can hold 100,000 units. And so what you do is you go over to the combine, and you can fill up, say, 4 times. You know, I'm making these numbers up, but say 4 times with the chaser bin. And so that allows the combine to not have to stop. And then you go and you run when you're full with the chaser bin, and you go fill up the road trucks. And the combine can still fill because it has enough capacity that by the time you're done emptying, it will be back. You know, you'll be back and you can empty again. So these, as you can see, are much lower profile. I can't get the landing gear up because I didn't save it after I fixed it, but being obnoxious. This is being obnoxious. All right, and so this will cozy up next to it like so. You suck so bad. That sucks, dude. The landing gear, you know, hung up right as I'm trying to stop. There we go. Okay. Typical, typical, typical. All right, so let's actually test it out while we're here. So let's go ahead and park your brakes coming off. And so this would go in the mine. This truck, because of its height, you know, would be height restricted. Of course, in-game, they can go in there. There's plenty of space. But IRL, they would be able to fit in there. They would be, and also, they're not designed, their tires aren't these big, you know, aren't supposed to be big, fat off-road tires. They're supposed to be in the road. And so they have road tires. They're not supposed to be on soft soil. And so they'd be out, you know, on some compacted soil or on asphalt waiting. And, you know, this would come up and cozy up next to it. And we would cozy up. Oh, come on, a little bit slow. So another reason why you want that low gearbox is it allows me to be able to hopefully operate pretty slow. I might lower this even more. You know, you want to be able to floor it and have it go very slowly. That's kind of one of the points of having a proper heavy-duty gearbox. Oh, Jesus, I'm getting the frustration here in a second. Come on, back up. There we go. My reverse is too high. You know, it's jumping. I need a lower reverse. Reverse is often your lowest gear. All right, so you'd go up like this, and then you park it, and then you can see I can see over the trailer. Tip it at having phantom forces, so I have to fix this. It's screwed up, but you see the concept. This would then go out and empty. You know, the problem is this auger is bigger than it should be, so I'll have to come up with some sort of system to make this work. But again, this is based on real stuff. I've tried doing high tip trailers. I have a couple of those in the event that this is just an absolute nightmare. I can do a high tip. So hope you guys enjoy that, and I'll see you in the next one.